Hello geometry folks. I'm looking at Unit 4 congruent triangles, homework 2 angles of triangles. Today is the 15th and this is not due until the 18th. In your Google Classroom it's called Angles of Triangles homework number 2 and I'll be calling it both. Here we go. I'm going to do the odd ones for you. This is going to be a two-parter just because it's easier to upload that way. And I'm going to do the odds on the first page and then I'll have part two the second page because there's a lot to explain here. One thing you've got to realize is that all of the angles inside of a triangle, any triangle, is going to be 180. So in order to find the missing angle for this triangle, I'm going to take that 180 and I'm going to subtract the two angles that I know to find out the missing angle. And so I just took 180 minus 76 minus 59 and I got 45 for my angle 1. When you do this one, you're going to take 180 minus this minus that and you'll get this angle. Okay, and so find that angle first. Then in order to find this angle, take 180 minus this angle that you found out, and that will give you angle 1. Okay, I had to first figure out this angle in order for me to figure out this angle. So I did like in number 2, I took 180 minus this, because this is supplementary, this makes a straight line. This is a straight line pair here, and we are going to get 28 when we take 180 minus 152. Now we take that 180, because that's the sum of all of the angles in any triangle, and I subtract that 28 and I subtract that 115, and what's left over is that the measure of that angle, which would be 37. Try 4 on your own. Number 5. I went with number 1 first, and I just took 180 minus the 118, and that gave me my number 1, and that gave me a 62. In order to find number 2, I took 180 minus the 62 minus the 73, and that gave me angle 2, which is a 45. I needed to take that 180 minus 73, and it looks like I got 107 there. And so for angle 3, I took 180 minus 107 minus 49, and I got 24. Try 6 on your own. Just know in 6 that these lines with the arrows, these arrows right here, that means that these are parallel. So you know that 52 and 2, angle 2 is going to be the same. So 52, angle 2 is going to be 52. So you have that one already. Then one thing you could do, this straight line, take 180 minus the 52 minus the 47, and that will give you angle 5. Okay, so that's going to equal angle 5. All right, and so now you have 2 and you have 5, so you could take 180 minus what you got for angle 2 minus what you got for angle 5, and that will give you angle 3. Okay, and then take a 180 minus angle 3 minus angle 3, and that will give you angle 4. And take 180 minus your angle 2, and that will give you your angle 1. Okay, so there's a layout for number 6. May want to rewind that and slow this down as needed. For number 7, okay, I started up here to get number 5. That just seemed to be the easiest thing to do. So I took 180 minus 144 and I got 5. And I just numbered these to tell you how I went about getting all these. So I got angle 5 first, and that was a 36. Okay, then I went for angle 3. Oh, angle 3 is easy because these are vertical angles, so they're right across from each other. with two straight lines, this angle is always going to equal this angle. So I just, just looked at it, and so 3 is 95. So now I can go with angle 6, because I could subtract my angle 5 and my angle 3 from 180. So 180 minus 95 minus 36 gave me 49. So now I have 49 here. Okay. Then I went with angle 4. So I took 180 minus my angle 3. 180 minus angle 3, which was 95, gave you 85. And then 2 and 4 are going to be the same because they're vertical. They're right across from each other. Even though they're horizontal, we call them vertical angles. But anyways, that would be 85 also. And then look at this big triangle here. So I know 6, and I know that this is 90. So I took 180. In order to find number 1, I took 180 minus 90 minus my angle 6, which was 49, and I got 41. That's my angle 1. In order to get angle 7, it's going to be obtuse. I know it's more than a 90-degree angle, so my answer should be more than 90. I took 180 minus the 38 minus my angle 5, which was 36, and that gave me angle 7, which is 106. All right, just finding the value of x for 8, 9, 10, 11. 8 is very similar to number 9. You're just going to do the same thing here. Although number 9, they try to trick you up and, say, hey, remember this is 90. I could have a 90 here, but what happens if I have a 90 and I have a 180? I'm just going to subtract that 90 from both sides, and I'm going to end up with 90 over here. 180 minus 90 is 90. So these two have got to equal 90, in other words. I combine my like terms, negative 5 plus 5, I end up with my 7x and 3x, making 10x equals 90. I divide both sides by 10, and I get x equals 9. And then number 11, you got to think about this angle right here. This angle is actually going to be 180 minus the measure of this angle, which is 14x minus 13. So it's 180 minus, in parentheses. Okay, you got to use the parentheses because you got to do the distributive property in order to get this accurate. Okay, so I'm going to take 180. Well, I'm going to take all of this. 180 equals all of these. This plus this now. So I have that angle plus the 180 minus 14x minus 13. I use the distributive property first, so I have negative 14x, and this negative and a negative becomes a positive 13. Okay, I combine all my like terms. I end up with negative 4x plus 208 equals 180. I subtract 208 from both sides, end up with 28. Negative 4 and negative 28. Divided by negative 4, both sides, I get x equals 7. Okay, that's part 1. Look for part 2 right after this.